Hi, hello, welcome. Our scenery is a little different today, and I apologize for any background noise. I live in the desert. It's raining today, and I want to be part of it, so I'm sitting right outside of my window, enjoying the weather. Now, some news has broken out, and you guys, I gotta say, as much as it sucks to be when people try to take credit for things, yeah, I know that sucks, but you guys, I feel like we did this. I always say, we're making waves, but we really freaking are, okay? So basically, you click the video, paparazzi finally released an income disclosure statement. I know, this is the day that I thought would never come, and I do want to thank all of you who flooded my Instagram and my Facebook and any emails, whatever. So many of you guys sent this to me. I think so far this is just kind of supposedly an internal email that got leaked, and people who received it sent it to me, and I'm sure it's floating around in other places. I didn't see it really being talked about on the anti-MLM subreddit, although it probably is, but it didn't get as much attention as it probably should have. Anyway, we're here to talk about it because honestly, it's kind of a joke, and I'll get into why. Okay, so first I want to read this email, and my biggest thank you goes to someone on Instagram named Perla. She's not the first one who sent it to me. She's not the last one who sent it to me. She's just the one that provided kind of all of it all together and the most information. So thank you, Perla, but also thank you to anyone else who sent this to me. Okay, so the leaked email goes as follows. Dear consultant, Paparazzi has recently published its income disclosure statement on its website, which, by the way, I went and looked on their website and I didn't see it anywhere either. Maybe they haven't published it yet, or maybe it's hiding somewhere. The income disclosure statement discloses the highest, lowest, and average bonus incomes for the different consultant ranks. In connection with the publishing of the income disclosure statement on the Paparazzi website, we are adopting a new policy regarding advertisements and postings made by our consultants, which include earnings claims. Earnings claims are statements referring to income or lifestyle. They can be specific, I made $10,000 last month, or vague, you can achieve your dreams. Earning claims can also be statements about lifestyle, such as posting a picture of an expensive designer purse or a new car. Other examples of earnings claims include, I have created a business earning over a six-figure income for my family. I have a part-time business with full-time pay with Paparazzi. With hard work and determination with Paparazzi, I was able to replace my full-time income. Posting a picture of your earnings. Paparazzi can bring financial freedom. Earn as little or as much as you want to. Statements similar to the above examples of earnings claims may be used, but any earnings claims or statement made must include the income disclosure statement or a link to the income disclosure statement on the Paparazzi website. The requirement to include the income disclosure statement applies whether the earnings claim is made orally, through a social media platform, or other online channel, or written. Going forward, if you wish to make an earnings claim through social media or another online channel, please include the following disclosure with your statement. We have included some helpful do's and don'ts to keep in mind when making an earnings claim statement as a consultant. Do include the required income disclosure statement with any earnings claim statement. Be prepared to provide evidence of the truthfulness of your earnings claim statements to Paparazzi and/or the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. Acknowledge that results may vary and are dependent upon each individual's dedication and effort. Do not promise results. Misrepresent any earnings claim statement regarding lifestyle, whether oral, written, or visual. Misrepresent personal experiences or results. Make any alterations to the Paparazzi income disclosure statement. Okay, great. So that's the email, and then of course it provides the link. Well, let's go over some parts of the email first. So basically what they're saying here is that anytime any consultant says anything about how much money they're making, lifestyle changes, like how you see people be like, I just bought Starbucks with my unique card or whatever. If someone made that claim with Paparazzi, I just bought this new Gucci handbag with my Paparazzi earnings. You have to post the income disclosure statement, and also be prepared to be able to provide evidence of this to the FTC and Paparazzi. Now, what I will say is that I can't imagine that they're going to hold this policy in its highest regard. I think they're just posting this kind of stuff to cover their ass. Because if a consultant as we've seen many times, especially in the comments of my paparazzi videos, we've seen consultants say, well, I made this much money, blah, 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 blah. And I obviously do not believe it, and we will see when we actually look at the income disclosure statement that the people who are making these claims, not only online, in forums, whatever, but even in my YouTube comments, that they are not being truthful. And now it's against paparazzi's rules to make such statements without giving access to the income disclosure statement. I mean, good on paparazzi for being like, hey guys, do this, but I can't imagine. I mean, maybe we can email paparazzi and be like, hey, one of your consultants did this and didn't do this, like, but it's not like they're gonna terminate their shit, you know. I don't think that's really gonna happen. I think, like I said, paparazzi is just doing this to cover their ass. Perla also gave me a screenshot to someone's Facebook post. Her name is Roberta Blevins, and apparently she was in the LuLaRoe documentary that came out recently, but I don't know much about that. Okay, so she's anti-MLM, and she posted this on her Facebook, so that must be why people saw it leaked. I think this Roberta Blevins chick is the one who leaked it to begin with. But like I said, there are some people who were in the same boat as Roberta who were previous paparazzi consultants, and they still sent this email to them too. So she's not the only one who's leaking this. I had people leak it to me. So anyway, her Facebook post says, paparazzi just released its 2018 income disclosure statement with an email to go along with it. Let's break it down, shall we? Going forward, consultants are required to provide evidence of income claims, but are also encouraged to use photos of purses, new cars, vacations, and even meals as recruiting tools. Also, the use of can versus will. Quite a bit of focus on it works if you work it type rhetoric, which is why I made that face earlier because you see this a lot with MLMs where they're always just like, people like me, I get the comment a lot where it's like, well, you just didn't work hard enough and that's why you failed. And it's like, no, that's not true. We saw that on the income disclosure statement with My Daily Choice and HempWorks, where it literally said in the fine print, your effort and stuff that you, and your time that you put into your business is what you're gonna get out of it. And we all know that's not true. I mean, and I think maybe they just put this there again to cover their asses, to be like, hey, this isn't just a get rich quick scheme, you actually have to work at it, which maybe in most cases you do. But I know for a fact, and I think we all know, that a lot of people who are high up in the company just got in early and they got lucky. Point blank. But they're not going to put that on their income disclosure statement. Anyway. Okay, so according to the income disclosure statement, 69.43% of consultants are at the star consultant level, second tier, and average $22.83 a month, with 10 cents being the lowest, $1,092.80 as the highest, which would be the same as making $6.83 an hour for a 40-hour work week, $4.17 below the national average. Which, before you comment, we haven't even looked at the income disclosure statement, and I'm going to go over some of this here because there are reasons why I say that this income disclosure statement is kind of a joke, and this has something to do with it. But anyway, less than 0.03% make up the top of the pyramid. Okay, so that is what Roberta Blevins said when she got the email. I think it's safe to jump into the actual income disclosure statement now. So here it is. Now, one thing you have to understand before we go reading off numbers and stuff like this is that this income disclosure statement only includes income that consultants got from bonuses. This does not include income that was received by buying wholesale and reselling at retail price. I mean, I can't imagine that there's not a way. I mean, I could imagine that it's probably has to do something with like paparazzi consultants would have to like report back to paparazzi how much of the inventory they sold or something like that. But regardless, not only that, so that's something that the Huns can definitely use to their advantage and just be like, well, the income disclosure statement is only for bonuses. It has nothing to do with all the money I made by selling all my wholesale stuff. Like, so that's an issue there, first of all. But also, nowhere in the statement or in the email or anything does it mention how much money the consultants had to spend to get any of this, including the wholesale jewelry that they buy. And it doesn't include how many, like the number of people who are in these ranks, just the percentage of consultants. I'm going to assume this does not include people who made $0. You know what I'm saying? Because the lowest monthly bonus on this chart is 10 cents. So it's like someone at least made a dime. But there's no one on here that says they made $0. And I'm almost positive that there are people out there who are making $0. So those numbers are not even reflected in this. And if they are, then this chart is misleading because there's nothing that says lowest monthly bonus 0. There is no average income altogether. There's no median income. There's nothing like that. And yeah, so as much as it's great to be like, Paparazzi did release this income disclosure statement, it's like it really doesn't disclose much. These bonuses, so if you go on their compensation plan, which is totally different, it basically just says, here are the many ways you can get paid, and here are the many ranks and how you can reach them. It's just your basic MLM stuff, like your bonuses are basically your downline income, but in many different ways. They have like a bunch of different ones, like a legacy one. I didn't go that far into it. I honestly don't really care. I just I just know that that is what this chart is. So there's the business building bonus. Every time you personally sponsor or enroll a new consultant, you will earn 15% of their initial starter kit purchase as long as you're active. So there you go. This bonus is, you recruit people, you get 15% of the money they spend on their starter kit. Unilevel bonus. Earn up to 3 levels of commission on your team of consultants as you progress through the Paparazzi ranks and compensation plan. Earn between 5 and 10% of your organization's activities just for supporting and training them and finding their own success. So what that sounds like to me is 5 to 10% of every dollar they spend goes back in your pocket. Like, it just sounds like you get 5 to 10% of all your downlines purchases. That's what it sounds like to me, based on what I'm reading here. But then this says you can have an unlimited number of levels within your organization by continuing this pattern. Even though it says earn up to 3 levels of commission, I don't know, that's a little confusing, but I'm sure like there are videos and stuff that I could watch that like would explain this a little better. But hello? Hi. It is raining, isn't it? That's why Mommy's down here. Mommy likes to watch the rain. You do. Nice and warm now, right? Okay. Where were we? The generation bonus. As you begin to develop stronger leadership with your team and qualify as an executive director or higher, which that is the 5th rank. You earn additional bonuses on up to 3 generations of your organization. A generation begins at every executive director or higher and includes all consultants down to and including the next executive director or higher below. I don't know about that. Legacy bonus. As an A-lister or higher, which this is getting into the really high ranks, you can earn an additional 1 to 2% on the volume generated in up to 3 legacies within. So there's Unilevel, generation, legacy. It's convoluted. And then there's the infinity bonus and then a cash bonus, which are like the top 2 ranks. You get those. Anyway, it's really not that important. But just so you know that that's what is calculated here. So it has nothing to do with the actual jewelry sold, which is sketchy to me, right? Because in order to not be considered a pyramid scheme, most of the income has to be coming from selling a product, not from recruiting. And if we look at the chart here, I don't know how to put this. It's clear what they're trying to do, but it's also like we learned from the whole Advocare thing. How is this not a pyramid scheme? You know what I'm saying? Without any proof of how much someone is actually making from product sales, because usually income disclosure statements would have some sort of like, you make this much commission off of your sales, which it does say that up here. It says consultants are rewarded for retail sales of paparazzi accessories with a 35 to 45% gross profit from each item sold, but that's not included in the income disclosure statement. But to not be a pyramid scheme, those numbers have to be the ones that are making up most of the income. You know, like, so the whole thing is really strange to me. And like I said, and I'll say it again, it's hard to calculate that. But then you see that there's the 70% rule that we all know about, where the FTC says that 70% of all inventory bought within an MLM has to be sold every month. So if you buy $100 worth of inventory, $70 of that has to have been sold. It seems like there should be something in place for MLMs to be able to calculate these kind of things. Why isn't there, you know? And that's the problem here, is that people look at this and go, oh, well, at the very least I'll be making 10 cents a month. At least I'm not losing money. But I mean, you are, because if you buy one of their starter kits, which what was one, I don't even remember. It's been so long since they talked about paparazzi. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. But let's say $100. If you buy their $100 starter kit and then you like sell everything back and you end up profiting $100 altogether. Oh my god, this is already so confusing. Then great, you're up $100. But if you don't, you spent $100 and you made nothing and now you're $100 in the hole. That's the big problem here, is that like people will look at this chart and go like, oh, I have all this income potential, and then they go and buy jewelry that they can't sell, and they're like, wait a minute, I didn't make a dime, I lost $200 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You guys, most of you watching this understand what I'm trying to say. I cannot make these words come out of my mouth correctly. It's also very early in the morning, so I apologize. The second paragraph of this income disclosure statement says, income earned by consultants will vary depending on the time, dedication, and effort a consultant puts into their paparazzi business. Succeeding as a consultant requires hard work, and there are no guarantees of success. However, there's real income potential for those consultants who dedicate the time, effort, and commitment to develop their customer base for paparazzi accessories and sponsoring and mentoring others to do the same. Very misleading, very predatory. I want to congratulate paparazzi for being like, you know what, yeah, let's put out an income disclosure so people know what they're getting themselves into, but they still don't. And the Huns are just gonna take this and run with it and be like, oh, well, this is only part of your income. You can make even more if you sell jewelry. And the other thing is, too, is that I always get people in my comments who are just like, I don't build the business, I don't do any of that, I just buy and sell the jewelry. And a lot of the people who have come in and been like, I see a profit with paparazzi, a lot of them, like I had one lady who told me that she has her own retail store of other stuff, and she just buys paparazzi jewelry and sells it in the retail store, which, fine, like, you do you, boo-boo, but you already had that business to begin with, and you just added a new item to your inventory. You know what I'm saying? I think the only other people who really profit off of this are people who maybe might go to like a state fair or do vendor events and stuff like that. Because yeah, then you can set up your own little tent and then be like, here's my jewelry, it's only $5, buy it. And there's a bunch of people there that are gonna walk around and see it. That, or people who already have like an online network, like a following or something like that, which there's a video I want to make that someone on Instagram sent me. I'm sorry I don't remember your name right now, my darling. When it comes down to it, I'll throw your name in here, I promise. But someone sent me, there's like someone who had like a 300,000 following on Facebook who just did like makeup and beauty and stuff. And she's like an army wife or something who turned paparazzi director, and she like shot up to the top ranks. And I watched some of the videos that she makes, and it's so sickening. Like, it's horrible how predatory she is on her audience, that she built off of something totally different, and she has people signing up under her because they trust her. They already had an established viewership with her. That's sad, but I want to dive deeper into that because that's very interesting to me. But that's another example of people who find success. I feel like the average Joe who doesn't have access to vendor events, who doesn't have an active following on social media, or who doesn't already have a place to sell things, what are you gonna do? Just sell shit to your friends and family and try to build a following of people who also want to buy jewelry? Like, no, I mean, there's no number on here that says how saturated the market is, and I can assume it's... Cat is crazy. I can assume there's a lot because I hear from a lot of them, right? And then at the very bottom here, it says, again, it kind of reinstates like, success or achievement of each consultant is dependent upon various factors, including the time, skill level, and commitment of the individual consultant. What skill? Like sales? But then they all like seriously? Go on my paparazzi video and read all the hate comments. There's so many people who are like, the jewelry does sell itself, it's cute, blah blah blah. So if the jewelry sells itself, what skill do you need? Social media? I don't know. See, but then that goes back to like, if you already have a following, if you already do social media, there you go. Like, you've already got people to watch you to buy your shit. I want to say that paparazzi put this out there to cover their ass, but to me it just raises more questions, and it raises more problems with what the consultants are going to do with this. What they're going to do is try to recruit people and be like, look, the lowest anyone earned was 10 cents. So you're gonna be up 10 cents. You know, like, people are going to do that. It sounds stupid to you and I. It sounds so dumb. But people are gonna do that. People are gonna fall for it. And paparazzi itself, before they changed their website, even said, like, you have nothing to lose or something like that. There's no way to lose. And it's like, that seems to be the mantra that's going on there. But I called them out on it, and then like a week later they were like, what are you waiting for? Instead, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to be so ranty about this, but like it's just, it irks me a little bit to a certain extent. But anyway, I just wanted to go over this with you guys and you know, I always want to keep up to date with what's going on in the world of MLMs. And paparazzi has been on my radar real hard ever since I posted my first video. And I can only hope that paparazzi either fixes their business model or the FTC comes down on their asses like they just did for Advocare. Because looking at this, it's very predatory. It's just wrong. It's wrong because the numbers may be accurate for bonuses, but the main part of the business is supposed to be selling jewelry, and that is not even reflected on here at all. Anyway, yep, that's that. So, okay, I'm gonna quit rambling now, but thank you so much for watching. Sparrow, would you like to say hello, goodbye? You guys haven't seen Sparrow in a while because I've been filming upstairs usually, and she knows she's not allowed upstairs, huh? Yeah, but she's getting so big, and she's got bed hair right now. She just woke up. You guys saw it, so we gotta go get some breakfast, huh? Yeah, I have donuts.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. We're gonna go eat some donuts, okay?